All right, guys, I made such a big mistake. I was recording my video. I forgot to turn my mic on. So, I thought, you know what? Let's make a video of me going through it because I'll just have to do the voiceover as we watch it because I totally forgot to turn my mic on. Such an idiot. Anyhow, so we're doing Steel Mountain. I'll just kind of commentary over my own video. So let's see here. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna have to see what ports are running. So I know it's 8080, but if you're doing this, you wouldn't know. So what you're gonna have to do is open up a terminal and then just do an in-map scan. I'm gonna put the command in the comment section, so you can just go ahead and input that. This is my Hail Mary. So, if I'm trying to like find which port is open, I'll just throw this command in there. And I'm just going to input the IP address of the machine I am looking to scan. All right, cool. So it's scanning, doing its thing. And then we realized that, port 8080 is open and 80 is open. So what does that tell us? They're running a web server on both of those ports. Cool. So what we're going to do is we're just going to open up Firefox. We're going to explore a little bit. Oh, actually, Chrome, my bad. Oh, by the way, if you have burp open, close it, because as we go through this process, you can't have burp open because it's going to interfere with Metasploit later down the line. Just letting you know. So just close burp out. We're not using burp for this one, anyways. Anything using 8080, go ahead and close it out, except for your web browser, right? Because it's not, your web browser isn't being a server. So you'll see, I'm just going to input IP address and then 8080. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna click around. Home didn't take us anywhere. Let's see, I click on the HTTP file server 2.3. We're kind of wondering what kind of HTTP file server we're running here. Okay, looks like a Rigetto. Okay, cool. So we know it's Rigetto. Awesome, let's go ahead and do some more research here and input our findings there. All right, what is CVE to exploit this file server? So now we're going to look up exploit DB. We're going to look up the CVE for this bad boy. Don't type Rigetto, just go to exploit DB. That's a 404 right there. So yeah, and then just input Rigetto into the search bar. That should get you what you need. All right, so we're going with number 2 there. And we'll click on that, gives us the CVE 2014-6287. So we'll just insert that bad boy in there. All right, now it's telling us go ahead and make a shell. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to use this RCE to get a shell on this web server. All right, so what I do is I'm just opening up my terminal here. Yeah, don't need that one open. All right, here we go. So I already ran this one yesterday, ran into a bunch of issues. If you have, let's say, Norton VPN, or you have some VPN service, you name it, you got your Tor going on, turn it off because it will cause issues with the rest of this lab. Um, Believe me, you don't want those issues because I dealt with them for a while. It's not fun when your exploit's not working. So just type in MSF console, leave your open VPN session, right? Your open VPN session, that allows you to have a connection between you and the TryHackMe network. Obviously want that, but other VPN services, you want to turn those off. Okay. So here we can see we have MSF console, which brings up MSF Venom, our Metasploit, I mean. And so now that we have Metasploit open, so we're going to use search function in Metasploit to look for the CVE that we're trying to find. Now, I like to kind of bounce back to what we were doing earlier in exploit DB. I know you could download that script. Don't download that script. It does not work. I'm telling you, it does not work. It did not work for me. Good luck if it works for you. Put it in the comment section what you did. Spread the knowledge. But here, we're just going to use, you know, Metasploit's CVE that they have, because I mean, they have one, right? So they have an exploit for that. So use 0. I'm using that exploit. All right, so now that we know which exploit we're using, you can see I had another panel open. I had just gone through it, so we're just gonna put our focus on the one on the right. I'm using the one on the left as reference. All right, so we're gonna want to set the our host IP address, so that's the remote host, that's the computer we're trying to get into. Make sure you check your spelling there, because I mistakenly typed port wrong when I was setting the R port, and I had a bad day for about 30 minutes trying to figure out why it wasn't working. Yeah, that's the one thing. If you're learning Python, super easy. It's like if you run into an error, Python will tell you what's wrong. If you're doing this and you run into an error, a lot of times programs don't really tell you what's going on. So, all right, I'm gonna run exploit. Once I've got all the information there, I'll host my computer's information. Our port was 8080, so that's the port that we're trying to get into. You'll see it's starting to run this exploit and stage that payload. Now, thing about that is it kind of just airs out in a sense. It just stops. I just have to okay, I'm getting impatient. I click Control C. Give it a minute. Give it like a minute. If it just kind of stalls, just Control C it. It will start the session, believe me. It just does this sometimes. Or it just kind of freezes up. All right, so we'll just let this run. You can see I'm starting to get impatient at this point, so I might have done the Control C. We'll see if I do it. By the way, some of the more complex commands are in the comment section. All right, so looks like it ran. I didn't have. Oh, I did it Control C to kind of stop it, trying to get back to my screen here. I typed session with an S. Make sure you don't type it without the S. You'll run into issues. You can see it has one active session. The ID is 1. It's got a connection between my computer and that computer. So what we're gonna do is we're going to just access that session. And there's a command you have to run. And I just realized I don't think I put that in my notes in the comment section. So let me input that now in my notes. It's gonna be sessions. Sessions dash lowercase I1. And then it starts that interactive session in the Metasploiter little prompt there, little shell. All right, cool. So it's just gonna start that session, and then we'll go ahead and PWD. So we're at CD into Bill's desktop. I watched this other video where somebody said, you don't usually want to put your exploits on someone's desktop because they can see their desktop. And I agree with that. But for, just for this lab, we'll just throw it on the desktop. In the real world, I'll probably put it in somewhere deeply hidden in their files. If not in their startups, so when their computer starts up, you know, my shell starts up, who knows, something like that. All right, so here we go, cat user. We CD'd into their desktop, we ls, we got the flag, we catted it out, we input the flag there, we go to the privilege escalation. We know we have to load PowerShell, upload PowerShell, or actually it's upload PowerShell, then PowerShell / shell. And then we have to run that metasploit command to get the payload up on their computer. All right, so you can see here, I'm just kind of neatening things up, kind of just closing things out. I just got a bunch of terminals open. Probably don't need this terminal, so get to close that one out. This is my one notepad with all my commands that I'm running. Again, this is going in the comment section, so if you get any typos, just look down in the comment section. I do it in all my videos. So, all right, so we're gonna download the script. Go to this place here. Go to the main script, which is the PowerSploit. You click on code. You click on that to just copy over the HTTP clone link. I'm going to show you how to install that. So you just create a folder on your desktop. You just open up a terminal from there. You type get clone with the link. You input that. Oh, I already had it. Yeah, so I already had it there. And then you just dig in to it. You go to privsec. You see the power up PS1, which is a PowerShell script. Click on that. All right, and then closing out some of these prompts I don't need. We're gonna upload that Power1 script to their desktop. So let's check how we're doing on time. Got about halfway through this, guys. Halfway through this. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna open up terminal here. We're gonna see the path to this. So I just do pwd. I can see my path right there. And then I just paste that to my little notepad. You might have to change that path, right? Because you may have a different path. So just make sure that path matches wherever that file is on your computer. Right, and we're just gonna input that there. Click enter. It's gonna upload it from our computer to theirs. And just know in the real world that when it comes to running PS1 files, by default, I think Windows blocks them from running. Okay, let's go back to this. So load PowerShell. We're gonna load PowerShell into our session here. You have to do this or it will not work. And then you're going to have to do PowerShell. I just want to say it's PowerShell / shell. Yeah. To get that PowerShell shell actually going. All right, cool. And then once we're in here, we're going to do a dot space dot backslash and then the name of the script, power up dot ps1. All right, cool. And then invoke all check. Invoke dash all checks. All right, so once we run that, it's going to provide us some information that we're going to enumerate through, and we're going to try to find the program that doesn't have a specified path associated with it. And we can see very quickly that some of them have the can start as false. Ignore those. Can start set to true for this one. This is the advanced system care service 9. You can see that that one has the path specified. It has a little dash path. And you can see if you look at ours down here, the advanced system care 9, it doesn't have it. Right? So it doesn't have that path specified. What does that mean exactly? Well, that means that when we look at where that program is executing from, so the path of that program, you can see that it's in the program files x86 IO bit, and then advanced has a space there. So if that path isn't specified, that little space right there means that Windows will basically try to execute the advanced right there and then try to execute that. But the fact that it stops at advanced first means we can basically make our own advanced.exe that's a reverse shell. Okay, so let's go ahead and get an advanced.exe shell, reverse shell going that we can then upload to this computer's program files IO bit advanced. IO bit folder. It's going to be the IO bit folder. So what we'll do here, and if this all sounds like really confusing, I would recommend that you go do the junior pen tester. I believe that one's in the Windows exploit lab. There's about 3 of them, and those are pretty good starting points if you're having if you're a little confused at this point, because they go over the how you can exploit executable that doesn't have a path associated with it. So all right, so you see I'm going back here, checking this real quick. So you can see right there, it's got the MS Venom code that you should input in your terminal to make that advanced.exe. You want to change the lhost IP to your IP, right? So you do an if config on your computer, you see your IP. And then you see the 4443, that's the listener that we're gonna make. So let's go back over to our Kali machine. I believe the first thing I did was like start a listener. So you'll see me start a listener right now on 4443. Kind of just get that prepping. So you got nc-lvp 4443. So we start our listener. We have that cooking right there in the background. And now what we're going to do next is we're going to make that advanced.exe. You can see I already have it here, but I'm going to show you how to do it. I just pasted in there. We're going to ensure all that information is good, right? Lhost, Lport, that's your IPN. The Lport is your listener's port, and give it a sec. It's making that little advanced.exe file. All right, so once we've made it, we're going to then terminate our PowerShell session we have there. Just click Control C and then Y to terminate. It's going to bring you back to Metasploiter. We're going to verify our session's still up and running with that computer. ls, you can see the files of that computer still. We're then going to upload it, right? Now, the path of that advanced.exe is on my desktop in my PowerShell payloads folder. It might be different for yours, so just make sure that path is correct for yours computer and wherever you store that advanced.exe. You can see that I am now transferring it over to that computer, and oh, right. So this was actually a mistake. So advanced.exe, as we mentioned earlier, is supposed to go on the program files IO bit um, folder, right? So I uploaded to the desktop, and then I realized, oh no, that doesn't go there. That goes in the programs x86 IO bit folder. Right? And so you'll see me in a second figure that out, and then I'll correct course here and get that up in the right folder. So you're going to CD, you're then going to input the path of the program's x86 IO bit, double quotes around that, and then it's going to change directory to that folder. We're then going to upload the advanced.exe there, and you can see the advanced space system care is there. You know, we're just gonna upload our advanced.exe in that same folder. Okay. All right, so now we're on the right path. We've got that uploaded. Next thing we're gonna do is we're going to have to stop the service and then start the service. So when it starts, it'll run our advanced.exe, which will therefore start our reverse shell, which will therefore get us admin access. The type shell, that'll open up a CMD shell for you. SC stop, and then we'll double quote that and just input the service name, which is the Advanced System Care Service 9. Double quotes, enter. All right, so it's gonna stop that process. Then you're gonna type in SC start, Advanced System Care Service 9 with double quotes around it. You can see it spawns the shell we got there. Just do a who am I, make sure I'm actually the admin. Yep, authority system, we're good. And we're gonna CD into the C users, administrator, desktop. TryHackMe likes to place all the flags, so. All right, we're gonna dir, because we're in the CMD now. We're gonna do type root.txt, that's gonna open up our flag. And there you guys go, we got our flag, we're all set. Copy that over into the TryHackMe box and you're good to go. All right, I'm just gonna input that there. Task 4, let me tell you guys, I ran into a bunch of issues with task 4. Unfortunately, I will not be doing task 4, but all you have to do is click question done for those and you're pretty much set. So you don't really have to do much. There's one question format is PowerShell-C command here. I put the command PowerShell space -C space get dash service or get service, and that will be correct and get you going there. And we're all done, guys. There it is. I put in the comment section as well, just in case you want to copy that all in. Reason I'm not doing it is I ran into way too many issues. Once TryHackMe fixes this lab, task 4, then I'll do it. But until then, I won't do it. So that's the end of that. I hope you guys like and subscribe. Don't know how long it took me to make this video. I'm not a natural like other people. I run into issues many times along the way, typos and having my VPN on, or just all types of issues. But hope to create more videos like this in the future. So please hit that subscribe button, like it, comment, tell me what you want to see on it next, and have a good one. All right, Danny out.